So here in the school garden, we've grown several kinds of corn. Um, None of them the sweet corn that you're gonna eat as corn on the cob. Some a little bit more out of the ordinary. The other thing you'd probably notice is that some of it is super, super tall. And that tall corn you're looking at right there is a kind of corn called broom corn, and it's also called sorghum. And it's grown not because it's going to make seeds to eat, but at the very, very top, you see these tassels, and that is what you make brooms out of, natural bristle brooms. And so I've grown a couple of kinds of broom corn, and they're the tallest kind. Here at the other end of the garden bed, I did grow popcorn. So here I'm showing you the top tassels. That's where the pollen is made. And it needs to be wind pollinated down to where these ears of corn are growing. And the thing that makes it popcorn is that it's not a sweet tasting kernel, but you let that kernel dry out on the cob, and then you can store it a long time as that dry seed. And then if you heat it, the steam within the seed pops it open, and that's popcorn, which is a good, nutritious food. So my video isn't just about corn, it's about the three sisters. And that is corn, beans, which you can see winding up the stalk right here, and squash. And the some Native American tribes have traditionally grown these three plants together, and they have called it the three sisters companion planting technique. So companion planting means you're growing certain plants together in the same space where they are going to benefit each other as they grow. And this is different than a monoculture system where it's one large swath of one kind of plant. These would be these three plants growing together. So there you see a squash blossom, and then some of the large squash leaves here, and then the vine you see is what's left of the beans that were growing up this corn. So each of the three plants adds something to the growing system. The corn offers the beans, their pole beans, a support system for them to grow up. The beans are a type of plant that can pull nitrogen from the air and fix that nitrogen into compounds in the soil that will benefit all of the three plants as they require nitrogen out of the soil. And as the beans grow up and the squash vines grow, they will shade the ground below the corn, and this conserves water and moisture in the soil. So here I did a close-up of some of the squash that you might recognize as squash. These are butternut squash. These are pretty common squash you can buy at any grocery store. And it's a type of squash that's called winter squash. So this squash will store for months, and as long as the outside skin isn't damaged, it's going to be something that you can cook up and use for months to come throughout the fall and the winter. And there's a shot of the garden.